What's going on, guys? Fool's Garage here, back at it with the interior removal, and in this video I'm going to be removing the carpet as well as the sound deadening. But before I get to that, I'm going to be removing this rear deck piece right here. So the rear deck has 5 rivets in the front area right here, which you can pop out with a trim removal tool. Next, there's a bolt hidden under the rear seat anchor, and there's a plastic door that you need to pop off. Once you're able to do that, you can remove it with a T40 Torx. Obviously, do the other side as well. There's also a few screws underneath the panel which need to be removed. There's one more. So actually there's 3 of them. Okay, here we go. So now that the rear deck is removed, I'm going to move on to removing the carpet. And in order to do so, there's some stuff in the center console area that needs to be unbolted, as well as the seatbelt restraints and some trim along the door as well. The gas pedal also needs to be removed, and it's only held in with one small bolt with a clip in the back. This is the airbag module. You watched my previous video, I already removed this. I just temporarily put it back in place. And now I'm going to really take it out. So there's 3 10mm bolts. And then there's this e-brake sensor right here. There you go. There's also a center bracket that you need to remove. I'm just going to move these airbag wires and set it aside. There are 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3 for the e-brake. You might want to make sure you release the e-brake before you remove these nuts. And there are these plastic pieces right next to the shifter here. On both sides, these need to get removed. Alright, so I think I'm ready to peel the carpet off now. I'm going to start with this rear section, and then I'll remove the front section afterwards. So for the front section of the carpet, the middle area goes up underneath the dashboard, and since I'm not going to be removing the dashboard, I'm going to go ahead and cut the carpet along the edge right here and right through the middle, down through the passenger side as well. If you're planning to do this as well, I suggest taking it really slow and just to feel it out underneath the carpet, just to make sure you're not cutting any wires. My particular car, there weren't any wires beneath the carpet, but I still think it's better to be safe than sorry. The carpet's also easier to cut than I expected. Majority of it is just foam. You can actually just cut part way and separate the rest by pulling it. Just to make it easier to remove the carpet, I'm going to be cutting it in half. So I'm just going to make a cut right down the middle here to the shift boot and down the middle right here as well, so I can remove it as 2 pieces. this is what the car looks like now. So next I'm going to remove this piece, and then I'm going to start prying off all the sound deadening. But before doing that, I decided to peel off the foam insulation on the roof, which turned out to take a lot longer than I expected. The rear section was really sticky, as you can see here, while the front piece came off more cleanly. And even though it came off clean, there was still a lot of residue left over. So I used some adhesive removal spray and scraped it off with a plastic scraper, and needless to say, it made a complete mess, but in the end it was totally worth it. So now I'm ready to move on to removing the last piece of the carpet and then removing the sound deadening. So I've heard a lot of nightmares about removing the sound deadening and how difficult it can be, and some people recommend using dried ice, but I figured I'm going to try the old-fashioned heat gun method. I picked this heat gun up at Harbor Freight for only $10, so I'm just going to give that a try. And to my surprise, the sound deadening comes off very easily with the heat gun. It only takes a few seconds to heat up the material, and it scrapes off like butter. It's particularly easy on the vertical surfaces because, as you can see, it simply just falls off. Alright guys, so I got all the sound deadening removed except for this piece right here underneath the center console. You would have to remove the dash to get to this. So eventually one day when I do remove the dash, I'm gonna get rid of that sound deadening as well. As you can see, there's a piece in the footwell here along the transmission tunnel, back of the transmission tunnel right here, on top of the rear seats. Same thing on the passenger side. So I put all of that sound deadening material into this bag here. I'm actually curious how much it weighs, so I'm gonna go grab the scale. Go here, quick with it. Okay, so I don't know what's up with this scale, but as you saw, it's about 5.8 pounds. And if I added that piece from the center console area, I'm sure it's gonna be over 6 pounds of sound deadening. To remove the remaining adhesive, I'm going to try this stuff. It's called Goof Off Pro Strength Remover. This is the spray version. I've never used this before, but I've read that this is much stronger than this Goo Gone stuff. Just a warning, this stuff smells really bad, so make sure you work in a well ventilated area if you're using this. If not, wear a respirator or a gas mask. And from my experience, this stuff works really well. You don't have to spray that much. Maybe just spray sparingly, wipe once, and then just come back and spray a couple more times, and it should remove everything. So that's it for this episode. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, stay tuned for more.